Hey guys, Dan the RBRT Guy back with you again. Hey, thanks so much for coming back and checking out this week's video. So this week, guys, we're going to continue on with a demonstration, and this video is one I haven't done yet. This is for the Torx Plus. Now, some guys, you may not know what Torx Plus is. I'm going to throw a picture up right now to show you the difference. Have a look at this picture. A Torx Plus, unlike the Torx regular, the star is not as pointy. They're more squared off. And the point of that, guys, is that they resist camming much more than a regular Torx bit. So under high torque, under high load, the lobes can take a lot more pressure. Now, chances are you've come across a Torx Plus fastener and never knew it. A regular Torx will fit in there, as you can see from that picture, but it's sloppy and it moves around and it'll shave off the tips of the lobes of your Torx bit or break it, shear off the bit. So if you put a Torx bit in and you were able to move it back and forth and it was kind of sloppy and it was, a T45, then it was probably a Torx Plus and you didn't even know it. One of the main things from being a tool guy that I remember about Torx Plus is Ford truck bed bolts in body shops. That is absolutely a Torx Plus. Here is a Torx Plus fastener, a bed bolt, and as you can see, you may be able to see it or not from this tight shot from my other camera up here, that they are squared off lobes. Now, in the Rust Belt up in Ohio, that thing rusts in there and they are next to impossible to get out. And, guys at the body shops up north, you know what I'm talking about. You go through drastic measures to try to get these out. But what I'm going to show you today is how much more effective the RBRT Torx Plus design is versus a conventional design. And I was scratching my head trying to think of a good way to do this. So the best way I can think about doing it is this. I'm going to anchor one of these into the vise and I'm going to take a conventional Torx bit and I'm going to use my torque wrench. And I'm going to try to round it. I'm going to try to cam it because, they cam up. I'm going to try to strip that bolt and I'm going to see how many foot-pounds it takes to do that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with an RBRT. The whole point is how much more force can the RBRT withstand without camming the bolt out, without stripping it, opposed to the regular one. So that's going to be where we start. So let's see what we can do. In the bench vise, you can see I've got it anchored down in there, and I've got a conventional regular Torx Plus, and I've got the RBRT Torx Plus. And what I'll do is I'll just show you that that's the conventional one, it fits like it should, and that's the RBRT one, it fits like it should, right? So that is a good bolt. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fire up our torque wrench and we'll just see how much torque this bad boy can take before it shears over. Let's give it a shot. I've got the torque wrench set at 80 foot-pounds. I'm going to go ahead and crank it up to the maximum, which is 99 foot-pounds. I don't know if it's going to take that much, but you'll be able to hear that the torque wrench is working, and we will get a recording of how much this takes. So let's give it a shot, see what we got. I'm up to 80. Okay, it cammed over at 82. It rounded at 82 foot-pounds, 82.4 to be exact. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give that another shot because it felt like it was beginning to strip. Let's give it another go. Yeah, it's starting to strip. I'm only getting to, oh, you know what's happening there. I got to tighten my vise down a little bit. This is all live, guys. We're doing this on the fly, so let's see what we got. If the thing didn't cam out, it was actually spinning in the vise, as you probably caught on my tight camera. So let's see what we got. We're over 120 foot-pounds. It was 126 foot-pounds before that spun. Have a look at that on there. You can see it. Now I'm going to grab a new bolt and we will put the RBRT in. And let's see what we can get from that. Here we go. Make sure I got this cranked down well enough. And let's rock. I'm at 140 foot-pounds right now. Oh my gosh, this thing ain't letting go, and I'm actually maxed out my torque wrench at 140. And what we got going on there, 140.4. If I exceed that torque wrench any further, I'll actually error it out and I'll have to send it in. You guys that have digital torque wrenches, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what is that? That's about it's about 20 foot-pounds more, 24 foot-pounds more. We were at 26. I'll review the videotape and come back and maybe redo it, but the whole point is that the RBRT held on a lot harder. And the clamping force of that, the way that bites in, stops that stripping, right? That's what RBRT is all about. Stop the damage happening before it happens. So at 140 foot-pounds versus I think it was 126 foot-pounds, the RBRT held up much better. And actually I could have gone harder, but I don't want to break my torque wrench. So that is where we are on that one. Now the next part of the demonstration I want to do, get this, it's wedged in there pretty good. The next part of the demonstration is I want to take the one that was damaged, and you can see that the conventional one absolutely rounded that over, okay? I'm going to drop it back in there, put my RBRT in there, and I want to see if I can put any foot-pounds on there with it being rounded over. Look at that. I'm already at 20 foot-pounds, 22, 25 foot-pounds. Can I get to 30? I'm at 30 foot-pounds. 35, can I get to 35? I'm at 35, 36, and that thing is still bit in there. Can you believe that? Look at that bad boy. That's amazing. 40, come on, 40. 39, I can feel it. It's going to go. It's going to slip. 40 foot-pounds, guys. 40 foot-pounds on a rounded over Torx Plus bolt. That's live, in studio, no messing around, RBRT. It will prevent you from damaging them, but when you come across one that's already stripped, it's your best fighting chance to get it out. I say it on every video. It's the right tool to use on every job, every time. Guys, do me a favor, like this video because that was awesome. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. Smash that bell so you can see when the next new RBRT Guy video comes at you. I'm Dan, the RBRT Guy. We'll see you next time. Thanks very much.